Hello fellow YouTubers and fellow Nesmakers. Get ready for another video. It's part 2. We are going to work on setting up a title screen, and we're going to set up the menu. I've been working on a menu plugin and it's done. I checked out for bugs and put in as many features as I can, and we're going to get right through it, and I'll have it ready for you guys very soon. So let's start. We got to go to the graphic assets. And CBR, you can see I already got some graphics here. I have some tile screen graphics here on the background chart 17, and then on these little screen ones we have starting options and some copyright information, and then we have some graphics here. This is like a little tile animation, but we'll get to that in another episode. And then we got a couple of sprites here, and we have the HUD with the letters right over here. But we do have a problem though. As you can see, some of these graphics are in color, and Nesmaker is not going to work with that way. We need to turn them into RGB. So as you see here, these graphics are red, green, and blue. They have to be in that format. Red, green, blue, and black. They have to be in this format. So we're gonna update all these. So now you're gonna learn how to use the pixel editor real quick. So I got a pixel editor here. I got an old file here. We got 2 HUDs. Here's the HUD for CBR. And real quick thing about the HUD. When making HUD text, there's 2 things you can do. You can start drawing. It's 4 rows by 16 of 8 by 8 meta tiles, and they always work the same way. Up here doesn't really mean anything. There's extra stuff that we put up here that we want to use, but the main things that you want in a vanilla Nesmaker project is that you start from number 0 to 9. Those are the first symbols you need. You can see it right here. Let me change the palette so it's easier to see. I made this text because I'm a big fan of Neo Geo, and this is actually my Neo Geo text. So I'm gonna put the colors here to work it out. I think it's, we're gonna do some Fade of Fury, so it's, what we got here? It's white, no. I use 2 different colors for the numbers and letters, but I think I'm gonna go light here, there we go. And a red. So, and then we'll just do a black, maybe easier to see that way. And I'll get rid of these grid lines. Put the 8 in there. So yeah, so as you can see, the same thing, you got 0 through 9. That goes first, and then it's A through Z. That goes next. You can change these, but you don't want to in case you're gonna make a lot of projects, but it's A through Z. Just like here with Fernando's artwork, he has 0 through 9, A through Z. Then the most 2 important ones, well, these are part of Nesmaker, so these are very important. So you got the period, that's next. But then you also have this one right here. This is the space. It needs to be blank. I would not recommend moving anything from here because a lot of it is hard coded into Nesmaker. So if you try to move these things, they won't work right. So you make sure that you got a period here. This is blank. Let's go back to Fernando's work. You got your semicolons here, you got your question mark, your exclamation point, your comma, your quote, and so on. You can use these to do different stuff. I just have the extra graphics here that I'm gonna move in later. But the most important thing that you need to know about is these 3 little boxes right here. These are very important. They should be your 3 colors, your red, green, and blue, or in this case, I have the the light yellow and the red and the dark red. These are very important. What are these used for? These allow you to make blank tiles in Nesmaker. So if these colors are here and I go over here and I want to make a blank tile, I'm gonna press these 7, 8, and 9. So as you can see here, I'm making blank tiles. This was a new feature added to Nesmaker recently. And the cool thing is that now you don't have to waste space on your tile set, because back in the Back in the old Nesmaker days, we used to have to make blank tile sets so we can make, unique backgrounds. But now, if you're using the HUD, you want to make sure you got these 3 colors in. So that's about it when creating a HUD. You just have to keep in mind of this section right over here, 0 through 9, A through Z, your period, your space, and so on. And then for the last 3, your red, green, and blue. And the first icon is your blank colors. This also needs to be blank. So your background color is the first meta tile here. It's always the first one. You can't put it with these 3 over here. They're hard coded. If you try to move them, you're gonna have a bad time. So don't move those. So you have the excuse me. You have the black, red, green, and blue here, and same thing here. Oh, I have the C here, so that is the problem. So I got to move that later, but I ain't messing with it right now. But yeah, I'll move that later. But yeah, I'm gonna close this. We don't need this no more. We're gonna remove this tab, and we got this. Now, we're gonna go ahead and we are going to open up our first graphics here. We have the CBR, the Chaos Between Realms, and you can see it's all red. So what I'm gonna do is, that's gonna be our first palette here. So we have our background palette here. And the cool thing is you can pick your palettes from here. Of course, you can't rename them here, so you may want to go to palettes and all palettes and go here, and then I can rename it and call it title. Just give it a simple name, that's all. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm gonna go to my sub one. We have a title here. You right click to switch colors. Now, the most important thing to realize, look at this color menu. As you can see, the NES is made up of only about, what you got here, 12 colors. And then they have the brightness for those colors, or the value, or whatever you want to call it. So, you want to make sure that you start in your palettes. You always want to make sure that you start on the lightest color, then the medium color, and then your dark color for whatever you're going to do. So I'm on the first color here. I'm going to pick the lightest red to match this. It's going to be this one. Then I'm going to go and pick my medium color. It's going to be that one. And then I'm going to go and pick the red. I know I use a dark red, so maybe it's this one and then this one. And maybe it's this one. Probably those colors. Now, this tool right here is the global color change, and it will change when you grab a color and color this, it will change any color that matches that color I'm going on. It's going to change it. So if I color here, well, to show you the change, I'm going to just press, they have a green here. I'm going to press here, and you notice, oh, it's on red and blue, but I'm going to click it. So you notice that everything is changing to green right now. That was that light pink color. Now it's there. I can change it to here. Now you can see it. So I'm going to go here to red and click on that, and go to dark and click on that. And if I go back here, you see I made the changes already. Now, of course, I wish that Joe put the green first and the red second, but he didn't do it that way, because green is a much brighter color than red. So your graphics might look a little weird on the red, green, blue, but it needs to be in that order. It's very important you do in this order, because it makes it very easy when you have to switch a lot of palettes between a lot of things, especially wording, and it just looks nice. Especially if your graphics were black and white too, it would look right that way as well. So now we gotta go on to the next one. I'm gonna go back here. Oh yeah, also if I'm switching palettes, it's gonna show that palette that's there. Now it's all gray here. And I'm gonna use a second palette to do these words. So we need a white, a light gray, and dark gray. Now we got the colors we need, so I'm gonna go and click on this white, click on this gray, and click on this dark gray. You probably don't see any changes because Fernando used the same colors already. but you can see I am making the changes because there it goes. Now all this is done, and I can hit save, and now the graphics are ready for Nesmaker. If you don't do this, the graphics are not going to show up in gameplay. You know, you got to make sure the colors are right. But we do have our two palettes right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the next screen. But if you look here, you can see back chart 17 is totally done. And now I'm going to go here to the start and options. And we got the same palette here, so I'm going to match that. So I'm going to do the white. Oh, now you can see it change because I'm on the RGB area. So I'll be good to do it that way. I'm going to do the gray. And do a dark gray. It's going to become blue. And there we go. Now I'm going to save that. That's done. Now I'm going to go to the this is the copyright information. So I'm not going to do this now because there's only one color. I want to get something where I can make another palette before I do that, because I might be able to use one of the colors. So we're going to save that for later. I'm going to open this here right now. And you can see this has a white and a light red and a dark red. So we're going to make that palette there. So I'm going to grab a white, a light red, and then the dark red. I'll leave an RGB so we can color the white. And we're going to color the light red. And we're going to color the dark red. And now we're going to save it. I'm not going to change these right now. That's the most important frame. We have our HUD. I'm going to open this. I'm going to use an orange over here. I don't know if it's a light one, but I'll just put that there for now. And we're going to color that. And now we are done with that. Now all the graphics are ready. Let's go. Well, this is also the monster graphics. We got to go here as well too. It's a little different because now I have to use the monster palette. So monster palettes are broken up into different palettes. So I'm going to make one for the button. And the cool thing is you can rename it here. So I'm going to start from the bottom. I'll call this title cape. And press the rename button. Now we got title cape. And I'm going to have the white and the light red and the dark red. Then I'm going to paint it here. That matches that too, but anyway, we're going to do the next one. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to go down to the next one on top and call it button. Rename that, and we're going to have a light pink, a red, and a dark red. That's already colored there, so I can go here and do this, go here and do that. Just in case, I'm going to do the black too. I know black matches. We'll save that. And now we are done setting up our graphics. They're ready to use in Nesmaker. They have the proper RGB values. Okay, I'm back, and I realized that my camera wasn't set up properly. So now you can see my face. Okay, so now we're at the overworld. We just fixed our graphics. And now we're gonna set up the title screen. And right now, I gotta find the preview of the title screen that I had. Okay, excuse me, so we are going to graphic assets again, and we go to CBR. And then I would recommend you make a folder in your graphic assets for whatever extra stuff that you have. Maybe reference, artwork, drawings, and whatnot. So we have the screen title here. That folder's empty. What is this one? Oh boy. Now these are the problems having when you're a programmer. Is this a JPEG? Yes, it is. Oh look, Fernando made a nice color chart for me. And I was almost correct. Let's have some fun and match it up and see how close I got to Fernando's palette. So I got the red correct. The gray I got correct, but it's in the wrong spot. And the white one I also got correct too. I think it looks like it's using a dark red, but it's not matching that red over there. So I'm just gonna stick with that. And then the bottom, orange and black. There's some three colors there, so I got it right. So let's switch it up real quick. I'm gonna go here, like that black. And then I'm gonna do the gray here. Switch the pink over here, or the light red. And then I'm gonna do the dark gray, and then the dark red. And now we have the palette that matches Fernando's palette. Yep, we have those two free colors. And now we can start setting up the, we're gonna start setting up the title screen. So now we need to go to tile layout. With everything that goes on with Nesmaker, I like to stick to the main screen 3 no path. That's the third option. This gives you one main tile set and 3 different screen tile sets. These are smaller tile sets that you can mix around, and it makes it easier to reuse assets. Let's say if you like have a room and maybe you have a chair and you want to reuse that chair in other places, or even a poster frame, or even trees, you just put it in these small areas and they use them on other backgrounds. So they help a lot. Now I'm gonna pick, here's the tile screen here. And then I'm gonna put on the third slot, I'm gonna put the character in there. I think it was 25. No, maybe go lower than that. Excuse me. There we go, 36. And then I'm gonna put the, was it here? No, let's try 34, the copyright information. No, yeah, nope. 35. And then here would be 34. So now we got our title screen here. And then we got the password here graphics, and the start and option graphics are here. And then the copyright information is right here. I'm gonna press OK. And we go to the graphics here. Of course, the C's of this first one, the corner of the C's you can see, they're right here. Excuse me, I just want to check my phone real quick. Oh, okay. So let's zoom in. Okay, so now you see our problem here. Usually this will be the blank tile on the corner over here. And no, we got C's all over the place. Some water. We got C's all over the place. And that is no good. So as you remember, like I told you, let's go back to the pixel editor. Let's open our HUD. This is very important. I'm going to remind you again. You need this spot right here, blank, and then you got your red, green, and blue. This will enable your 6, 7, 8, and 9 buttons. You press the 6, 7, 8, and 9 keys to make blank tiles. So if I press 6, bam, that's the red. If I do 7, look at that, that's the light red. If I go another thing and I want to use gray, I use 9, and look at that. This is very important when you're like making walls, or you need to make borders and you don't want to waste tile space, because we have very limited RAM in the NES. Not a Nesmaker problem, it's more of just an NES limitation, but we can work around those limitations if we work together. So let's do that. We'll leave this here. First, I'm just going to make everything black. Now, of course, I could just go here and start. It doesn't matter, it's a background color. I could just start making these black here like that. Bam, bam. Now, of course, it doesn't take that long to go through the whole screen, but it's kind of tiring. So, if you press escape, and then you press shift, and hold the mouse button down, you can actually highlight a section of the map. And then you can press Control C and copy, and then you can do Control V, and look at that. I am pasting now what I copied. And this is a much faster process. Now, this thing is really annoying what I'm trying to do here. I don't want to see this blue thing here. So we can go to HUD and boxes. This blue thing is a text box area. So, oh no, actually that's the HUD area. So we could just either do the corner or the side. Maybe I'll just do the right side and set it as HUD. We're not using the HUD. I'm just leaving it like that. So when I go back, now I can see most of my screen here. So now I'm going to go back and put this over here and go to the image and bring that up. And then I'm going to make the image a little smaller. And make this big enough so that it zooms in. Now you can see what we're doing. Excuse me. Now we're going to match this thing. So I'm going to put a grid. We're going to show the grid. And then I'm going to grab the chaos. Okay, so you might want to grab like one thing here. Let's see, I don't know what we have here. Let's go try to find the middle, and I think 2 sprites down. One thing I want to do is your first layer of tiles here, your meta tiles or your 16 tiles here, you don't want to put nothing here, because on a regular CTR TV it's going to get cut off. So you got to be careful. Do not start your tile screens on this row. It will get cut off if they play your game on an old television, and you don't want that. Sure, on an emulator or on a video game system like the Nintendo Switch or the Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, it will look nice, but on a CRT, people love playing their games on classic TVs, and it looks amazing on CRTVs. It's going to get cut off. So you want to start like somewhere around here, and if I have to move it, I'll show you a way you can move it. So I'm going to just start here and see what happens. And look, you want to go one by one, and that might take too much time. So if you can select more tiles by holding down shift, just like we selected with the when we did the copy and paste. So look at this now. I can get the whole chaos. Now I can move wherever I want, and I can get a better idea if it's centered or not. So look better here. No, it looks better like right here. Does it look better here? Not really. Right there looks fine. Take off the grid. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. And then we're going to grab the in-between, and we're going to move that over here. And then we're going to grab the realms, and we're going to move that over here. And so far we got the right color. Now we're going to grab the cape, mysterious cape man, and put him in the background here. And look at that. But we got a problem. It's the wrong color. So are we going to do it again? No, we're not going to do it again. Now you have 4 extra keys. You have your Q, W, E, and R key. And that changes the palette. So, and you can see that here too. Look, sub 1 Q, sub 2 W, sub 3 E, and sub 4 R. So I'm going to press the W key while I'm highlighting here. Let's get rid of this. I'll pick this here. Anyway, so I'm going to press W, and look at that. It changes. And you can hold your finger on and move the mouse. And now it's the right color. I didn't have to draw it over again or pick the things again. So we got that. Now, of course, if I try to do W here, I want to match the foot. That ain't going to work. So obviously, Fernando made a sprite for this so it can look fine over there, but we'll do that another time. Right now, we're working on this title screen. The next thing we're going to do is we need start. So we're going to grab, grab the gray palette over here. Hold down shift, and we're going to grab start. and then start would go down here. No, it will go right here. Then we're going to grab password, and we can see that password is like that. Try it out like this. And then we're going to grab the second part of password, the last part of password. Then we're going to grab the options. And look at that, pretty awesome. And now we're going to go to the last palette, and we're going to grab the copyright information. And there we go. Now we have a very nice looking title screen that's perfectly centered. Okay, so I gotta leave the HUD like that. I made the HUD smaller, one box, and that doesn't play right with the Sprite 0 or whatever the HUD coding is. Just wanted to check that. So it was me when I made it small, but I don't want to use the HUD. I'll probably get rid of it later, but right now I just want to make a title screen, and that works, and that allows us to warp. And the title screen's already made. We're just going to learn how to do the plugin.